Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TMP Finance, where we make long and short-term investing simple. Today we're going to take a look at the NASDAQ, at a bunch of stocks in the NASDAQ, and we're also going to take a look at the heat map here and see what trades we can be making as soon as tomorrow. So without further ado, let's hop straight into it. Today on the NASDAQ, we are up 0.14%. Not a whole lot, considering that yesterday we did have this very bullish day where we came up 1% and we started to taper off to just about 0.36%. Today was a little bit more of a bullish move, and it's still confirming that we are into a bullish bias, that we have gotten a rejection off this point. We can see this large wick that could be considered a lower high, and then we're continuing to move up high right now. But right now, what am I looking for here? I think we're still in all-time highs territories. I think we'll be seeing some new all-time highs territories very, very soon. I think as soon as we break above 24,775, that's going to give you a 90% probability that we're going to be able to come up and look for higher price targets. The next price target that I'll be looking out for in the short term is probably 2% higher than our previous all-time high. That being said, I'll be looking for something very conservative, like about 25,300. But I think we can move much, much higher. Again, even though the RSI might say that we're overvalued and that we are, due to come back to the median line or the lower band, you got to remember that sometimes the RSI, it will start to taper off, even though price is starting to move higher and higher. So yes, there might be a top in the market, but it might be in a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. Nobody can really tell until we get that strong price action. But right now, we haven't really seen that much bearish price action. The biggest scare that we saw was back over here when we got this potential head and shoulders. You did have a pretty obvious head over here, but then we were able to still break above that, and it's very simple. I said that if we were able to break below this, then we'd be coming down lower. If we're able to break above here at 23,950, then we'll be able to move up higher, and just like that, it's very easy to navigate where we're going to be going in the short term when it comes to the NASDAQ. So that being said, let's go into the shorter time frames and take a look at what's happening in between for intraday. It's been a very stagnant day on the NASDAQ, and this is what I'll show you here. I'll also open up the OHLC so you can take a look at the highs and lows of yesterday and where the market is closed. And we can see that we pretty much just stuck around this median line here where we've closed in the previous day. We did get a rejection off of the previous day low as well, so that was a very good support that we've had intraday. Right now, if you are looking for a trade within the NASDAQ, I'd say it's a very smart idea to be buying now. Why? You have a break of your resistance line here. We're currently sitting above it, and not only that, the day is closing at a one-day candle as well. So you're able to still get a very good entry close to your resistance, and from there you can get a great risk reward, great stop loss, great risk reward, where you can have your trade going something like this, where you're targeting again those new all-time highs, and it's going to be even more obvious if we break above this 24,700 line. If you want to take partial profits here as well and then take your secondary profits up at 25,300 as I mentioned before, I think that could be a very smart idea. But let's say that we were to go in between and we're looking for about 25,150. Have your stop loss right at the low of the day, right at the swing low here, waiting for a candle to break below it for your stop loss. It's still going to give you a fantastic risk reward of 5.22. So that is my idea for a nice long-term trade that you could be taking for the NASDAQ. And when I say long-term, I just mean a nice either long day trade or a nice swing trade that you could be taking. But that's pretty much my outlook here. If you are looking to get bearish, it's pretty obvious. You're just looking for a break of this very strong resistance line that we've had, very strong support line that we've been holding us up at 24,500. If we're able to break below that, then I could be looking for the next resistance level, which can be seen at around 24,228. So that's about 200 points lower, and I think that could be a good contender for a take profit zone. But that is my outlook when it comes to the NASDAQ for now. Again, we want to wait for more confirmation if we want to place really big positions, but if you want to take the best odds, I'd say going long into the market would be your best bet. Let's take a look at the heat map over here for the NASDAQ, and we can see it's been a mostly green day. This is probably the most green day that we've seen within the past, I want to say, 5 days. And right now, NVIDIA was the one that's really boosting the market up, 2.6% up. This is actually a brand new all-time high for NVIDIA. You had Apple that's really just chopped around, Tesla chopped around, Google chopped around a lot. Actually, Google's looking a little strong. We have a very strong bullish wick showing rejection from the downside. So we're looking to potentially maybe break Google's resistance line that's falling, and I'll show you what that's looking like soon. And then you also have Microsoft that's still pretty strong. But right now, what I want to take a look at is Google. I will show you Google here real quick. And what we can see is that major wick here, that bullish rejection that we're seeing. And right now, what I like to see if we are moving higher into Google is a break of this resistance line here And if we can break above this resistance line, then I'm looking for $252.50 per share for a take profit. That's pretty much my trade there. And again, my stop loss will be changing, but even if you want to keep it right where it's at the swing low of today, that's still giving you a 2.3 risk reward ratio, which is not bad whatsoever. And you're looking for 3.7% to the upside. But I do think that Google is overextended. When you get major gaps like this that the NASDAQ doesn't even have, this is a gap of 4.5%. This is something where I would see it filling. So if we are not able to break above this resistance line, I could see us come back down to at least 225 within the short term. If we break below 225, 215 is an obvious target. But for Google, that is my outlook for Google. I want to talk about CrowdStrike Holdings. This is the stock that I've been super bullish about for the past couple months now. And I've been telling all my Discord members to buy right here on September 5th. And as of that, if we take a look and measure out where we are currently, we're currently up 17.5% in our position after our leverage. That 17.5% is looking something as about, I want to say 54.25%. So great upsides in the Discord community and great upsides for CrowdStrike. I think that CrowdStrike can be breaking above its previous all-time high. And why have I said that I'm very bullish on CrowdStrike? Well, let's just take a look at the technical analysis. I can see that we've broken all of our potential resistance lines. We had this true resistance line. That was the first one we were seeing. We got a fake out here. And then I said, okay, this could be another potential resistance line. We didn't really see too much action going on as soon as we broke above it. However, if you want to collect partial profits there and then place another trade and collect partial profits at previous all-time high, place a new trade and then collect profits at a new all-time high, that's also very possible too. But I do think that for CrowdStrike, 560 could be a very good take profit level. If you want to set it $2 less, like 558, that's going to give you fantastic upside. And from where we purchase, we're still looking at about 558. We're looking at 33.62% of the upside. So this will be one of the biggest holdings that I'm currently holding as of now, and I can't wait to cash out for that in the near future. But we've been placing tons of trades. We placed this trade here. For all my Discord members, I also said to buy when we broke above this volume resistance line too. And that trade, I mean, you're still up a decent amount here. Let's just take a look at where we measured out. We're still up about 2%. So if you're interested in getting all of these trades that I'm currently taking in real time, as soon as I place them, come take a look at that link in my description, wealth.com/tnp-finance. We're currently beating the market by something like about 900%. So if you're interested, again, come take a look at that link in the description. But let's take a look at the next stock here. I'm taking a look at NVIDIA. This has been our market leader ever since 2024. And it's just been rocketing here. We're in brand new all-time highs. We had a very strong resistance zone right above us. And this to me is great confirmation that the market is not looking to settle down just yet. Why do I say that? You have this major resistance zone. This is the biggest resistance zone that we've seen probably ever, honestly. This is much more significant than even 153. So right now we had a lot of chopping in this area. We did have a fake out that the market did not like. It rejected it very, very quickly. But then right after that, you had the bull swoop in and you had a nice push to the upside, making a brand new all-time high with a lot of volume. So that being said, NVIDIA, I think that NVIDIA can go up to about $198 a share. Again, $200 is a great psychological level. Having your take profit at 198, having your stop loss right below the swing of today or the low of today, it's going to give you a good risk reward ratio. I would personally wait for a bit of a pullback. Doesn't need to be exactly to this previous resistance level, but I would say that if you waited for something like 185.50 or 185.60, you're still getting a nice risk reward of 3.35, and this has very high probability of cashing out as well, just again because this is a very obvious break. You typically don't see two fake outs of an all-time high breakout. So that is my outlook for NVIDIA. If we can't hold this level and we do break below this rising support line, that's when I'll be taking a look to come all the way back down to about $164 a share. But I think that is very improbable. I want to give that maybe a 5 or 6% chance of happening. Now, another stock that I think has fantastic upside and great probability is none other than Berkshire Hathaway. And I have been begging everybody to be buying Berkshire Hathaway when I drew this original resistance line here, where we drew it exactly like this. And as soon as October 13th hit and we broke above it, I full poured this and I told everybody to buy. And this has been one holding that hasn't done a whole lot in terms of percentage, but it's been very, very stable. And that 5.32%, after our 3 times leverage or 3.1 times leverage, it ends up being, you're looking at about 16.4, 16.5%. especially considering that this is one of the stocks that I was telling my Discord members to load up heavily on. You must be up a significant amount if you were able to follow my trades. But right here, where am I expecting Berkshire Hathaway to go? I think an all-time high of 560 is very possible. If we can't get this, or if you want to collect partial profits, looking at 536 would be another great potential candidate for take profit. It's a lot more conservative, and you still get a good risk-reward ratio as well. Now, right now, as long as we are not only above our falling resistance line, which we've easily broken up above as of today, if we stay above 495, this is the line in the sand, 496, 495, that goes to show that we are still in the bullish favor and we're still looking to move higher. If we do break below this 495 with a daily candle, that's not looking good for Berkshire Hathaway. This could just be a lower high rejection, and then you could be looking to come down all the way back down to about 487. That is the other support slash resistance line that I have marked out. But that is my outlook for Berkshire Hathaway. So right now, loading up on it, I'm going to give it a 90% chance that we will be able to see our previous all-time highs of 536. The last stock I want to look at is Eli Lilly, and Eli Lilly has been super strong back in 2024, 2023. I mean, really, just take a look at all these years here. Tons of upside to be seen, and not too much chopping around. It's been pretty consistent, makes a new all-time high, makes a new all-time high. I want to see a new rally of Eli Lilly, just like how we've seen between 2023 and 2025. This has been extremely bullish years for Eli Lilly. We've had this very strong cooling down period where we can see that we're kind of stuck in between this falling wedge here, and I think that very soon we'll be able to see a new all-time high for Eli Lilly. I want to see even more confirmation if we can break above our main falling resistance line. Hopefully, if we do break above that, that's probably going to happen at about $880 a share. That's my personal outlook for Eli Lilly. And then from there, we can easily reach about $1,000 a share. That's a very conservative take profit. But right now, in the short term, what I saw was on Eli Lilly chart. If we take a look at the 4-day, it's even more obvious, or sorry, the 4-hour, it's even more obvious of this breakout here. And for Eli Lilly, this is a trade that I personally am taking, where we place our trade here, we have our stop loss right at the swing low, and then our take profit is pretty much just at the major resistance that we have up ahead. And that's going to give you a great risk reward and also a great upside of 16% to be taken. So if you are looking for another trade within healthcare, I would say you take a look at Eli and Lilly. There's still time to get in, especially if tomorrow when we're making our bottom wick, you can try to enter in and get a great trade on your hands. But that's pretty much my outlook for the market right now. There's a lot of hot stocks to be taken a look at. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care, y'all.